How to create activity book for KDP. I'm going to be creating a simple alphabet activity for kids. Make sure to watch until the end so you don't make any mistakes. So the first thing you want to do is to go to Canva homepage and click on Create a Design button right here. And then we'll go to the custom size section. Here we need to set 8 for our width and 11 for our height. Make sure that it is set on inches. And now we can click on Create New Design. Before jumping into the design, we first have to create the borders for our pages. And to do this, we have to go to the section of File here, and we're gonna go to the Settings section. We're now gonna click on Show Rulers and Guides. Go back to the File Settings section again. Click on Show Margins. Again, go back to the Settings section and now click on Show Print Bleed. So to start, I'll go to the text section and search for school. And I'm going to be choosing this font right here. I'm making it bigger, and since A is the first letter in our alphabet, I'll be adding A in capital as well as in small letters. So now we can adjust the text. I can make it bigger and even adjust the spacing between the two letters. So I'll decrease that a bit. So now that I'm making it bigger and adjusting this as I like, I'm now going to be searching for an element or an object that starts with A. So I'm thinking apple, and to do that I'm going to the element section. I am searching for apple, and then I'm going to graphics, and now I'm basically gonna look through the available options, and I like this one. So I'll click on this and add it next to my A. So now that our activity title is ready, I'm going to be moving to the actual activity. So to create this, I'm going to be visiting again the text section, and I'll select this specific font right here. I am going to be starting by making this way bigger than it currently is. Now I'm going to be adding the letter A so kids can practice it. I'm now going to be duplicating it and write a line with small letters so kids can practice that as well. And I'm continuing on duplicating all my lines until my page is full. One tip is to add both capital letters and small letters in one single line so kids can learn how to do it at the same time. Now, to further help the kids who are going to work on this activity, I'll add steps and arrows to guide them on how to write the letter A. To do that, I'm going to be going to the element section, and I'm going to be going to the arrow section. So here you'll see a lot of shapes, and I'm going to be clicking on this arrow shape right here. I'm going to be zooming in a bit for it to be easier. And what I'm doing is I'm adjusting this arrow shape to go along A. Now that my arrow is nicely placed, I'm going to be adding a text. I'll probably change the font to something else, and I'll just write the number 1, signifying that the kids should be starting out from this section. And now I'm taking the 1 and placing it next to the arrow. I'm now going to be duplicating the arrow here, taking it to the other side, kind of flipping it for it to be upside down. Now doing the same thing with my number 1, duplicating it, moving it to here, and changing it to number 2. So for the last part here, I'm going to be following the same instructions, creating a duplicate of the arrow, adjusting it accordingly, again duplicating one of my numbers, and changing it to number 3. Another cool thing that you can try to do is to go to the effects sections and make your letters in Hello. You can even play around with the thickness and make room so kids can even work on the title. So to do that, I'm going to be looking for line, and then I'm going to choose one of the ones that has these little spots on it. Click on that, it will appear here. Now I'm going to be starting to adjust it, move it inside my A, as it's now Hello. This is nicely placed in my letter. I'm going to be duplicating it again. Move it to the right side, repeat the same process, and adjust my last line accordingly. Once you're done with the capital letter, you can do the same for the small letter. So now that you know how to create an alphabet activity for kids, let's look at a different example where kids can learn numbers. So to do that, I'm going to be starting off by adding another page. For this activity, I'll again start with adding my text. I'm going to be using the exact same font that I used previously for the other activity. Once I nicely place my heading to my page, I'll now work on the actual activity itself. Now that my title is ready, I'm going to go to the Elements section and search for Apple again. Once I find an image that I like, I'll be adding it to my activity. I'm making it smaller, and I'm going to be adding 3 apples per line. I'm repeating the same process until my page is full with apples. Now that my page is full with apples, I can start to number them. To do that, I'm again going to be adding a text. I'll start with the number 1. Once I find a font that I like, I'll be placing my number accordingly. I'll duplicate it and writing my number 2. I will leave the number 3 out since I want kids to be able to find them on their own. So moving it to number 4. I'll again duplicate one of my numbers, move it to number 4, and renumber it. Again, I'll skip number 5 and directly add number 6. I am continuing to work on my activity until I'm pleased with it. Now that I'm happy with the way that I designed my activity, the kids can now try to find the numbers that I write in the apples that I left out. For this activity, I'm going to be showing you how you can create a word search. Again, I'm going to be starting with the header. And I'm just going to duplicate the one that I use because I do love this font for my activities. Now that I have my title ready, I'm going to be thinking of words that I can add to my activity. With a couple of words that I want to incorporate to my activity, I can continue with adding a grid. So what I'll do is I'll go to Elements and search for grid. Once you find a grid that you like, adjust it accordingly and start to place your words into the grid. To do that, I'm going to be duplicating one of my words, moving it close to the boxes, increasing the letter spacing, and there you have it. I'll continue to do this until I have all my words nicely placed on my word search. Another way to add one of your words would be to add every single letter from that word individually. So for that, I'm going to be adding first S, since I'm working on sad, enlarging it, changing it to the same font that I used for the previous ones. Increase the size, place it in the way that I want, duplicate the letter, change it to the second letter, which is A, duplicate it again, and change it to the last letter of your word, which is D in this case. One pro tip here is to choose between using capital letters or using small letters. So in my case, I'm going to be using small letters only for my word search. For the parts that are left out, what you can do is you can duplicate it and add random letters to it. Once you complete your word search activity, you can go to the Elements section and add a couple of elements to spice things up. To create a cover, we need to visit this page right here, kdp.amazon.com/cover calculator. Over here, we just have to add all the details for our cover. You just have to make sure that your measurement units is set to inches instead of millimeters. And your interior trim size must be set on 8/11 inches, just like we did it for Canva. We will now click on this button and it will calculate dimensions. After it calculates our template, we will go ahead and download our template by clicking on this button right here. Now I'm going to be going to the upload section and upload the template that I just downloaded. Once I have my template here, I'll adjust it accordingly. Now that our template is nicely fitted, we'll go to Elements and pick one of the shapes here. What I will do now is I will follow my template lines here to create the same shape. I'm repeating the same process until every line is covered. Now that my frame is complete, I can delete my template in the back. You can now work on the design of your activity book. With my design, I'm going to be adding my title. Once I have a title that I like, I'll go to the Elements and search for graphics that might be a good fit for my cover. While working on your cover, make sure to add real-life elements from the activities inside the books. As you can see here, I have added a couple of pages from the activities that I designed. Once you're satisfied with the cover, as well as all the activities you designed previously, you're ready to publish your activity book for kids. And there you have it. That's how you can create activity books for KDP using Canva.